Happy Friday, friends. Who's excited for the weekend? If you've got good plans, drop them in the comments. Tell me, what are you doing this weekend? What are you excited about? So I went to Aldi's, and if you've ever been to Aldi's, let me know if you've been to Aldi's. And actually, I'm going to stick up here really quick. This is going to go along with what we're going to talk about today if you want to grab this. So I went to Aldi's, and it's, if you haven't been there, so the grocery carts, I guess, I don't know if they had issues with people stealing grocery carts or they just don't want to, leave them all over the parking lot. They don't want to pay for that person to come and pick them up. So the way it works is you put a quarter in to get your grocery cart, and then when you return it, you get your quarter back. Okay. So so I'm always like stressed. Do I have a quarter with me? It's kind of like when I park somewhere and they have a parking meter and I don't ever, have any quarters with me. And I'm like, do they have an app? Is there an app? So um I go to put my cart back, and all I thought was, I cannot believe people. Like, I legit cannot believe people sometimes. I don't know if it's their parents. I blame the parents. I say this as a parent. Like, if my daughter ends up doing these things, I have mixed feelings, right? Because I'm like, I taught her better. Why would she do those things? But I'm the one who raised her. So do I blame me? I'm not sure on this. So there's two things that have happened that I'm just like, huh. So this was the first one. So well, actually, there's three. I can think of three things to share with you where I've just boggled my mind this week. So the first is, I go to return this cart, and in the cart next to me that has been put in, they have gotten their quarter back. So these people have returned their cart, they got their quarter back. The cart is filled with friggin' trash. They literally went to their car, took out all their empty, soda cans, energy drinks, fast food wrappers, put them in the cart, and then put the cart back. Now, what's interesting is that Aldi's is a place where nobody is working the carts. That's why you're putting your quarter in. Like, there's no guy going around the parking lot picking up the carts that would be like, okay, I'll clean out the cart and get it ready for the next person. Like, there's no one out there. So literally, this cart is now filled with trash that someone would have to get, because you have to put your quarter in to get the cart. So you can't get like another cart. You have to kind of go in order. So some poor person who's going to just try to get some groceries for their family now has to be your garbage disposal, like your garbage person, right? And throw out your trash that you were too lazy to throw out. And it just made me think, like, what is actually going through somebody's mind that they would do this? And then I thought, did this person have children that actually witnessed their parents do this, to think that this is how we show up in society? This is how we practice the golden rule. This is the world that we want to be in. Because I really believe that we create our world. It's not up to our leaders. It's not up to these people in charge. It's up to me and you, and how we show up every day as humans on a planet that we all share, right? And this is where we talk about gratitude. Gratitude is not just a practice. It's not something that I do where I just sit down and I pull out my notebook and I write down all the things that I'm grateful for, and I'm just like in this little bubble. Gratitude is like, I show up in the world in an energetic space, and how I impact and the footprint that I leave everywhere I go. And that's not just in my mental footprint, right? It's in the physical footprint that I leave. So the mental footprint is like, when I'm in a space, what is my energy that I'm leaving in that space? Am I a person who says thank you when somebody opens a door for me? It is wild to me how many people don't say thank you when you open the door for them or hold the door for them. Am I somebody who, if somebody, if I order something and they hand me my coffee, I say thank you? Like, basic, decent manners that we seem to have forgotten that exist, right? Do I hold the door open for the person behind me? Now, I did hear recently, and I can appreciate this, that one of the reasons women don't hold doors for men is that, particularly, when you're a young girl, if you're an attractive young girl, you kind of know you spend a good part of your life trying to like protect yourself from unwanted advances, right? And so opening the door or holding the door for a man may signal an invitation to say, like, thank you. By the way, blah, 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 blah. And so if like, I remember when I was younger, I spent a good part of my life being like, how do I not, have that attention? So we were talking about this with our teenager daughters. Because my partner was like, why don't women hold the doors? And my daughter was literally like, this is why. I don't want that to be seen as like an invitation. And I was like, you know what? I can really appreciate that. I remember when I was young that was, how that could be perceived. So that may be why people aren't opening the door, but at least say thank you to the person who is holding the door for you, right? But I was just boggled that somebody actually would like this was not like an accident. This is like a premeditated, I'm going to expect somebody else to clean up my garbage, literally, right? Like how many of us go through life expecting other people to clean up our garbage? This person literally thought that. And is that the footprint that we want to leave in the world? Right? Is that the energetic footprint that we want to leave where we go? And then I was in the bathroom and I saw this mom and I really felt for her. She was a young girl. She had a child. The kid was acting up, whatever. She was doing her best to hold them, but they go to the bathroom. The kid's coughing, hacking. I literally was like, oh my God, I hope I'm not going to get sick. Sneezing in the bathroom, comes out, and they just walk out. I'm standing there washing my hands and they just walk out. And I was like, why didn't they wash their hands? Like, this is a mom who understands how dirty children are to begin with. I mean, let's be real. Children are like dirty. And I say this when my daughter was going through cancer treatment, and you have to be so concerned with germs. And as she started to get to the end of treatment and she could go out a little bit and be around other kids, I remember just being like, children are disgusting. Like they're boogers and their face and like, oh my God, stay away from her with all your germs. I was like, stay away from my kid. I never realized how disgusting children were, right? Until you're like trying to keep germ free. And so I'm looking at this thinking like, oh my gosh. And here's what I thought, like now this kid isn't being taught, go to the bathroom, wash your hands before you go bring your germs and everything else back out into a grocery store. We were still at Aldi's. Like this is what's happening at Aldi's. Then my third is, and this has all been in like the last couple of days since I've been live with you guys. My third is I went to the Asian market to get, I made a poke bowl for the first time at home with like sushi grade tuna, which you don't cook, right? And I went to Whole Foods. They don't sell it, which surprised me, but I thought, oh, we have an Asian market right next door to us. I'm going to go to the Asian market. I bet they have it. And lo and behold, they did. I was so excited. So now I know where I can get some fresh um, tuna all the time. So this was exciting, but I'm watching this kid with both of her parents, and she's going through the grape bags, opening the grape bags and trying the grapes. And the parents are going, okay, come on, like we need to go. Not like, dude, you're stealing grapes. That wasn't the conversation. The conversation wasn't, kiddo, we didn't pay for those grapes. You can't eat those grapes out of the bag. Like you're stealing. The conversation was like, basically, stop this. We don't have time to stay at the salad bar. Like, come on, hurry up, grab your grapes. Like, we got to go. I just sometimes I'm really like, how do I share a planet with these people? Do you guys are like, can we all agree that like eating food out of a salad bar, eating grapes out of the bag, giving your child a, a, a treat to eat in the store that you're not planning on paying for is stealing? Like, was that not understood? Like, did that get lost in the memo somewhere? And it boggles my mind. And it boggles my mind because these are the future, right? These are the future. So when we're all old, like these are the people who are going to be taking care of us. When we're all old, these are the people who are going to be making the legal decisions. Like these are the people going to be running the country. Like we need to think about this as adults. We are raising our future people who will be taking care of us when we're old. What the heck are we doing? What the heck are we doing? And this gets into gratitude. This gets into like when you are operating from a place of the golden rule, when you are in a place that's so aligned and you feel so good, you show up as a better person because you're kinder. When you're in a place of gratitude, it allows you to be kinder because you have more grace for yourself. And so, what that does is it allows you to have more grace for other people. And so, you show up as a kinder version of yourself. And kind people don't steal grapes. Kind people don't teach their children to steal grapes. Kind people don't leave their trash in the grocery cart. Because you have a sense of humanity that we are all connected. We are not these isolated, like we like to think we're in our home in our little walls and we're isolated and we're alone and what we do doesn't impact other people. That is not how the world works. And this is where you break down race, religion, gender, political affiliation, the country that you're from. Like if you take all of that down, I mean, I always imagine if we were being attacked by aliens. If we were being attacked by aliens, like go watch a Will Smith movie, right? Like, would you really care what color the person was next to you? We would have this sense that we are all humans, one human race on one planet, and we are all together and we were all connected. And it's sad to see how divided we are, because we really are meant to be together. We are meant to be like, that's the term, humanity, right? Like, we are humans together. We are humanity. We are the ones who survived through evolution, as they had all these different, the Neanderthals and all these different, things before they got to the Homo sapiens. We're the ones who made it, right? And do we see each other like that? So today, today is, well, I'll tell you what the workbook is. So this workbook is 21 questions to change your life. I'm thinking about bringing back the gratitude connection, the grateful connection. It's a program that I did a couple years ago. We had amazing results with it. It was 1 month. I worked with people in a private group, and we all kind of worked on our gratitude. And I've taught it a couple times. I just haven't in the last couple of years because I've been busy with other things and building the Hey Girl You Can membership and all of that. So I am thinking about bringing it back in November. If it's something that you would be interested in the comments, put gratitude, and I will keep you posted. I'm thinking about it. I have to kind of work out the details and figure out how this would fit in my schedule, but it would be in November. So again, if you're interested, if you want to be on the know for that, put that in the comments. But in the meantime, I do have this free workbook. It's called the 21 Questions to Change Your Life. And it's 21 questions to really get you thinking. It's a workbook. You can download it, but like, thinking about who you are, why you're here, and the footprint you want to leave in the world. Who do you want to be? What do you want to contribute? Because I believe that you're here for a reason. I don't believe that you're still walking the earth because you're done. I believe that you have a significance, you have a purpose, you have a reason for being here, and that your footprint, the footprint you leave, has impact. You have impact, that you make a difference, that when you leave a space, your energy is still there, and you literally can change the world, starting with how you show up and how you leave your footprint and who you are and what you stand for, and what people, we're doing a thing in Hey Girl You Can this month about branding. Your branding is, what do people get when they're in your space? What do they feel when they're around you? Your brand is you. My brand, hopefully my brand would be that anybody who's in my space leaves a little bit more uplifted. That's why it's called, my community is Hey Girl You Can, that you leave a little bit more like, hey, guess what? You can go for those big dreams. You can achieve those things that you think, maybe are pie in the sky. Like, you can. And if you go for it, it'll happen. And that people who are in my space feel like they have value, and that they're here for a purpose, and that they matter, right? Like, that they're important, that they're loved, that they're a child of God, that they know that my core belief as a Christian is that I am called to love God, and I am called to love you, right? And so hopefully that is what my brand is. If it's not, I would love to know what you do think my brand is, because maybe I'm missing the mark on that, right? Like, maybe I am missing the mark on that. But what is your brand? What do you want people to feel when they're in your space? What do you want them to know about you? You get to decide that. So these 21 questions kind of work you through that, getting really clear. But as you go through your day to day, I just want to, let's just all together, let's just say for the next 24 hours, we totally focus on the golden rule. We totally show up in spaces where our energetic footprint is one that's so positive, that's so kind, that's so loving, that everybody in that space, we treated the way we would want to be treated, that we literally don't leave our trash anywhere. Let's just all together for 24 hours commit to that and see the impact that we can have. I would love your thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I'd love to know what's the energetic footprint you want to leave? What do you want to be known for? And have you even ever thought about that? And then if you're a parent, let's join hands together and say, like, we're going to make sure that we're doing our best. And obviously, you can have incredible parents who end up with kids that just went wayward, right? Like, it's sad, and it can happen. And my daughter still, she's only in college. Who knows where she's going to go, right? So at least judge you. Don't want to be judged, right? Like, I don't know what she's going to end up doing. But at least we are doing our best to raise the future citizens of our country. And at least that we, regardless of where our children go, regardless of the path that they choose to go down as individuals, that we have mirrored the type of person we would hope they would become. That we are the mirror for our children, and that we show up is that mirror. That I can't choose, I can't control whether she looks at the mirror, right? But I can certainly control me and who I choose to be. And so thank you for coming and spending out the time with me. I will see you next week. I go live every Wednesday and Friday, and just share with you my thoughts. And hopefully some of them will inspire you to be the best version of you. Have a great weekend, everyone.